Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Wine on Saturday, wine on Sunday. But Coach told me I can never miss a Monday.
Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in relatively affordable residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, please feel free to reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in this week. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on this Monday evening, just like it is every week here on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show. But first thing, please take your smartphone and record yourself asking Coach Mike a relevant real estate question. Submit your question to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In line number on the number that you see on the screen. And our super producer, Jay Joseph, will take a look at all the questions, and your question may very well be answered on tonight's show. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he is also, and most importantly, the co-founder of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to thank him for carving some time out of his busy schedule, and I'd like to introduce all of you all to Coach Mike, better known as Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing?
And thank God it's Monday, baby. Let's go. What's up?
Hey, man, it's great to be here with you, Coach Mike. Man, it was so exciting to sit in with you on this Monday evening, just like it is every week, man. Tell us what's been going on. How was your weekend, and what's been going on in the world of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm?
Man, I'm going off pure adrenaline, bro. Like last week was bananas. We had our real estate mapping your way to homeownership, real estate summit, and, literally the biggest event that Brooks and Davis has. We do it annually. We're looking to do it every 6 months, but I mean, we had the whole city in the building, Rick. We had 39 vendors. We showcased 18 unique programs that could assist buyers, sellers, and renters, man. 18 unique programs. And, that's why we do it, right? To create a platform to be able to expose things that most people don't know about. So we did that on Saturday. The team came together. Shout out to the team. Everybody stepped up. Everybody put in work, and it was a phenomenal event. So, coming off of that, then we had a 10-house open house, new construction community. The team came together on Sunday, and they pulled that off as well, man. So, my team, my super team is better than your super team, and that's straight off of on that Wednesday. We were in Sierra Vista, DR Horton, the 5-star team put together a phenomenal open house, a phenomenal event to showcase some homes for sale in that area. And then we had our real estate student study hall. So for those individuals preparing for the test, we had two of our real estate student affiliate members were on study hall this past Thursday. They have their test coming up, and they're finna go out there and tackle it, man. So fingers crossed, man. We're gonna have 2 new agents recently passed their test with what we've been doing with the study hall. So last week was just off the chain. It's just a breath of fresh air, kind of getting on to the other side of the week.
The cool thing, Coach Mike, especially with so many events that we host over at Brooks and Davis, we're starting to have annual events. We're starting to have events for a second, a third time, things that people can mark on their calendar. This past real estate summit, how did it compare to the real estate summit from last year and other real estate summits that you had a chance to organize and work with?
No, absolutely, Rick, man. That's a great question. There's only ever going to be the first, right? So the first real estate summit You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be another first. So
Right.
you know, that's all I can say about that one, right? This was our third one. What I can really say about this one is that we had way more information. We had way more vendors. You know, a lot of the company, it's funny though, Rick. A lot of the companies that were at this year's real estate summit, they weren't even in existence last year, right? Because yeah, with the market evolving the way that it is, or even if they were in existence, they weren't in our market, right? For us to even be able to showcase them. So, you know, the fact that we had, because like for instance, one of the vendors that we had that we spotlighted was the City of Houston large tract division. And what that is, Rick, is in Acres Home, and then right here off of 288 in Orem, and then in Stella Link, the City of Houston is about to build over 400 new construction homes. And, you know, depending on what your adjustable median income is, people may qualify for up to $150,000 off these new homes that they're about to build, and they'll be able to tap into the City of Houston down payment assistance. The county is doing the same thing. Matter of fact, they already started. The county started first, and they built a community out in Katy, and then they have some other communities that they're going to build. These programs weren't even in existence 8 months ago, Rick, but now they're here, and we're letting people know about it. And then there's a host of others that we showcased at this year's summit, man. So the amount of information that we were able to bring out to the people, man, it was just unbelievable.
You know, the cool thing is that those are those rare occasions where the buying public, the selling public, those that want to invest can come out and actually meet you face to face. There's so many people that may have seen some of your social media posts, may be a fan of what you do on TikTok, but being able to see you out and about in that environment, I'm sure it was something that not only makes you feel full, because I know education and mentorship is a foundation of your professional platform, but for those people who've heard so much about Coach Mike and Mr. Michael G. Davis, I'm sure that there were a lot of people that were just happy to be able to just sit there, shake hands, and just bounce a question or two off of you.
No, absolutely, Rick. I mean, we, you know, in addition to consumers, we even had agents that came by.
Oh, wow.
You know, to kind of check things out, see what we were doing. You know, I say it all the time. You know, the Bible says the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. It's a big work out there that needs to be done, especially in our community. And what I really get excited about, Rick, is just the opportunity to create an impact. You know, there were a lot of individuals that came and they had their paperwork, just wanting to see what they could or could not do, what they could or could not qualify as it related to owning a home. We had resources there for sellers that maybe want to move up and, maybe their existing home may have posed a problem. We even had resources there for renters that, now is not the time, right? I tell people all the time, Rick, it's never a no, it's just a not yet.
Right.
So in that period, there were some resources that they could tap into that could help them not only better prepare for getting, their financial situation or their credit in a position where they could purchase. It could also alleviate some of the strain of just rent in general. So it's a great event that we do every year. We're going to keep doing it. It was some good networking. The vendors kind of ran and raved about the opportunity because a lot of the vendors didn't even know that these other vendors, they was like, we didn't even know y'all existed.
So it was some professional networking going on.
It was some great professional networking. So we really got applauded for the networking opportunity, as well as the way that we designed how the expo flowed and how the summit flowed. Like we really got a lot of applause from those that participated in how we did it versus how other people do maybe summits or expos and things like that. So that was something that I was very proud of as well.
Hey, look, and I almost forgot. I want to give a huge shout out to anybody in tonight's audience that had a chance to attend this past Saturday's Real Estate Summit. And if you are online now and you were at the Real Estate Summit, hop into the chat, hop into the comment box. We would love to hear from you. Submit a question. And or if you just want to submit something that you either learned or experienced at the real estate summit, man, I'm game. So put that in the comment section, man. I would love to hear from you all. Coach Mike, man, we have some very, very interesting questions that members of our viewing audience have submitted this week, man. And I want to see exactly how you feel about some of the questions that we've been sent. And I'm also very curious about some of the advice that you'll be able to lend these real estate professionals as far as the questions that they have for you. So if you're ready for question number one, Coach Mike, man, I definitely want to see how you feel.
Let's go, man. You stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, Rick.
All right, check this one out, bro. Question number one. What is the best way to search for a church building for a client? Commercial.
They bringing out the commercial questions on you, boy.
We haven't gotten as many commercial questions, Coach Mike, now that we think about it. But look, have at it, brother. I'm curious to see what you would advise as far as finding a church.
All right. I got something for the people today, Rick. I got something for the people. So there's a company, and it's a brokerage firm, and this is their matter of fact, they're the best representation of taking advantage of a niche concept, right? Mm-hmm. You may have heard of them. They're called Church International Realty. That's the name of the brokerage firm. And all they deal with is church. I mean, when I say all they do is churches, right? So, whenever I'm affiliated or I have a church that was looking for something, they would always be the first place that I would start is their website. Because their website, they have church spaces for lease. They have church spaces for sale. I don't know what their offering is to churches to where they are able to attract the amount of momentum that they've built all these years. But I would definitely start there. Church International Church Realty .com. That's their website. So we start there. You got LoopNet, right? LoopNet is a commercial MLS. So you don't have to. It doesn't cost you anything to be able to search their database. So any commercial properties, you can actually search for churches. So that's another database that you can participate in. The other thing is identify where the church wants to be. Because sometimes, a lot of churches, it doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional church building. Right, it could just be a building that they could utilize for churches. Like I've been in plenty church services that was in a retail center. Matter of fact, look, I went to a church service that was in an office building. Like them boys was in an office building.
No, it's not that you mentioned that, Coach Mike. I've seen churches be held in a mall setting.
Yeah.
So speak towards what you speak to your point.
So what I would recommend is that sometimes it's about identifying the area that the church wants to be in. And then as a real estate professional, you go drive that area and see what opportunities exist. Maybe there is a small building for sale, not traditional looking church, but maybe it's a building that would fit based on the congregation size and kind of what the amenities of the church, what they were looking for. Again, retail space may fit. There may be a layout that that's already put together. Matter of fact, one of my first transactions, Rick, man, it probably is the first transaction that I ever did, was for the church that I was attending at that time. We were having church service in a banquet facility. See, as we talk about non-traditional places,
right?
We were having church service at a banquet facility every Sunday. And we had grown. I think and we were ready to expand out. And they put me on the case, and I went out there and found a commercial lease space, negotiated the deal and everything, and moved us into that facility. And we were there for years, and we held church. And we went in there and we painted it and we set it up the way we wanted to with them. And matter of fact, I even think I negotiated the renewal.
Oh wow!
for that church. So that's how I would handle looking for a church building for a client, right? International Church Realty, you can look there. LoopNet, you can look there. Drive the area, and then take advantage of your network, right? As a real estate professional, you should always be improving and enhancing your network. So you can shoot out an email blast out to your people and let them know, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Build you a network of realtors, real estate professionals, as you traverse in this business. Shoot that thing out there and see, hey, anybody, this, I have a need right now for one of my clients. Who knows what's for sale? I mean, you should be having a network of attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors. These people have clients that come to them and ask for advice. Accountants, they ask for advice, right? So these people know when people have things that they trying to liquidate, or they trying to sell, or they trying to move, release. So, sending those messages out to those people, you can find an opportunity by doing that as well.
Oh no, man. I mean, you've given out some invaluable tips, man. I'm surprised you're not asking for a piece of the action on this commission. But definitely, I urge everyone in the audience, man, take advantage of those tips. If you are looking for commercial space for church or another religious entity, like Coach Mike said, what was it? Church Realty International, Coach Mike?
Oh yeah, International Church Realty.
There it is.
Hey, them boys got the game on lock when it comes to
International Church Realty, LoopNet. Start there and let your search expand from there, man. That's great, Coach, man. We got another question that a viewer sent in. I hope we can help them as much as we help the person that submitted the first question. If you're ready for question number 2, Coach Mike, I'm going to have it pulled up.
Rick, I'm pretty sure we can help them, man. Let's go.
Let's see what we got going, bro.
All right.
Coach Mike, I'm a new real estate agent preparing for my first networking event. Do you have any tips?
Okay. Preparing. Preparing. First of all, you ain't got to prepare for no networking event, bro. Show up, right?
Be there.
Just be there. Like that's right. I'm all about the simplicity of this thing. Matter of fact, I think I said it in a show previously. New agents, they kind of come in and they're overthinking it, right? Mm-hmm. You're making it harder than it needs to be. The beauty in networking is you just being present, right? Go there and talk to people, right? Because you can go there and stand on the wall, but that ain't really gonna do much for you. And for my fellow introverts, I'm an introvert. For my fellow introverts, I know it takes a lot of energy to talk yourself up when going to these network events. I've been there. Right. I've been there where I had to have a prep talk with myself in the car. Like, hey, bro, we can't go in here and stand on the wall, dog. Like, we got to go in here and introduce ourselves. We got to go in there and meet people. We can't sit there and wait for people to come to us. But for introverts, man, that's really tiring, Rick. So I get it. I get it for my fellow introverts. But you got to do it. Hey, that's all I got to say. You got to do it. Like, you got to do it. If you're going to be in this business, you're going to train yourself to be a salesperson. You gotta do it. Now you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be drained after it's over, but you gotta do it. So networking, man. Rick is just going out there and meeting people and looking to accomplish these 3 things. Right. One of them is you want to make as many people as possible aware of what you do. That's why networking is powerful, because you got a room full of people that you can go and make them aware of what you do. They don't know you, so now you're going to make them aware of what you do. That's a great networking is a great way to do that. That's number 1. Number 2, you want to remind as many people as possible what you do, right? A lot of people feel like hey, I told them already, so they already know I do real estate.
That's a good point. Good point.
Out of there. As soon as you walked away, they forgot what you did. So you got to remind people. So sometimes you go to networking events and you see people that you know. Matter of fact, as you start networking and being a part of organizations, that's going to happen a lot. You're going to start seeing people. So every time they see you, every time you have a conversation with you, they're reminding you, you're reminding them of what you do, right? So you want to make as many people as possible aware of what you do. You want to remind as many people as possible of what you do. And then the last one is that you want to ask for business, right? So networking gives you a great opportunity for you as you're having conversations with people, as you're getting to know them, as you're getting to learn about what they do. You will have opportunities to say, hey, who do you know looking to buy a house, sell a house, or invest in real estate. That's going to organically. Now, here's the key, Rick. Let it organically happen, right? Don't go in there and you just right off the gate, like, I'm a realtor. Who do you know looking to buy? Like, don't do that. You gotta build rapport first. You gotta, there has to be a connection. You have to genuinely be curious about the people that you're engaging. And I promise you, organically, the opportunity will present itself for you to ask for business. So those three things, Rick, networking gives a great opportunity. So when we're talking about preparing for networking, show up with the intent that you're going to do one of these three things, if not all of them. Make as many people as possible aware of what you do. So everybody that's in that place that you're going to, you're going to make them aware. Hey, introduce yourself. I'm in real estate. Boom. You're making them aware. Or if you know some people in there already, you're reminding them, hey, what's going on? Been a long time. Yeah, how's business? They're going to ask you how your business is. And then boom, it's showtime. And then you want to, again, ask for business when the opportunity presents itself. So it's as simple as that, Rick.
No, it's funny, Coach Mike. This question just takes me back to some of the trainings that we've had over at Brooks and Davis with new agents. Could you speak to our audience, Coach, about the power of the logo and how powerful wearing the R is at these type of networking events and how it can facilitate those type of organic conversations? Could you just speak to how important it is representing with the logo at those type of events, Coach?
Absolutely, man. I think I have to give the credit to Bob Hale. He's the current president and CEO of the Houston Association of Realtors. But I believe I heard him say, this letter is the hardest working letter in the alphabet.
Yes, sir.
I was like, that ain't bad, Bob. That ain't bad. This letter is the hardest working letter in the alphabet. Yeah, you show up in that networking event and you got this letter on, right? The one thing I can say about the National Association of Realtors is that they do pour money into marketing, right? People do recognize this all. And a lot of times it will do the heavy lifting for you. People will come up to you and they will say, oh, you're a realtor. How's the market? That's the favorite question they like to ask. How's the market? Is it a good market? Is it a buyer's market? Or they say it's a market. Oh man, that's a tough market. Like they're gonna listen. They're not just saying that for small talk. Most of the time when they come up to you and they ask you about this, is because they got something brewing. They got something brewing because they want to have a question about something that's relative to what they got going on. So yeah, this are definitely where. Hey, look, Rick, if I'm going somewhere now, I don't do it as much later because my role is kind of changed. But without a shadow of a doubt, Rick, I know this works. When I was
absolutely,
I know it. When I was doing real estate, hot and heavy, anytime I left the house, it didn't matter where I was going. Anytime I left the house, I had one of these polos on because you can wear these things with jeans. You can wear them with shorts. You can wear it with whatever. So anywhere I went, I had one of these shirts on. I have every color, right? Every color. Or if I was dressed up, then I had on the magnet, the little R magnet. So wherever I went, right? The fact that I was even Rick, the fact that we're even in a position today to be able to do this real estate summit at the church at Bethel's family was because many years ago, every Sunday I had that R on at church. Right? Absolutely, no matter what I was doing. So yes, that's a big deal. Big deal.
And then because this question was posed by a new agent. So what I want to make sure we don't do, Coach Mike, is just forget some of the obvious things that we know, like you said, are tried and true. Representing with the logo. You're really big on having the corporate name tag with your name and real estate affiliation. Those are what they call them, Coach Mike, those silent salespeople.
Absolutely.
That can help break the ice for those introverts out there that have anxiety in those type of social settings. So if we can't give you no better advice to get you prepped before a networking event, we want to go with the logo, get you an R, get you a lapel pin, get you the magnet, and a really nice name badge with your name and real estate affiliation or corporation. I think that'll be pretty much all you really need, Coach Mike, to go into the networking event and actually be a player and get involved in the game, man.
Hey, look, man, it worked for me.
Absolutely.
Hey, look, what them hair club for men commercials used to be. I'm not only the spokesperson, I'm also the client. Like,
I'm the client, baby. Absolutely, man. So everybody out there, man, heed the advice from Coach Mike, man. Get you one of these shirts, all the colors, get you a nice name badge, and just get out there and get after it. And most importantly, like Coach Mike said, just be there. You got to show up. You got to show up to blow up, man. You got to show up to blow up.
Got to get out there in them streets, man.
Hey, man, we having way too much fun with these questions, man. And this third question, Coach Mike, is something that I know you counsel new agents, aspiring agents on a regular basis. So I'm very curious to hear your advice for the person that submitted question number 3. So let's see what question number 3 is for Coach Mike.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what it is. Okay.
Coach Mike, I have failed my real estate exam 2 times, and I have one more chance to pass. I thought I was ready the first time, and now I'm hesitant to schedule the exam again. What should I do?
What should you do? Hey, man, schedule the exam. What you mean? No, I get it. I get it, Rick. And I put it to you like this. The system, right? And again, this is all my opinion, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is not the opinions of Prime Real Estate Network or Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm or Monday Night Live Show. These are just solely the opinions of Michael G. Davis. I got to put my disclaimer out there.
We got to get a scroll to go across the bottom of the screen. This is Michael G. Davis.
Yeah, man. But the way that Trek has kind of set up this whole testing situation, man, it creates a lot of anxiety. And the worst thing for somebody that's going to take a test is to be anxious, right? To be wound up, because physiologically, that's a detriment to you being able to tap into your unconscious mind and be able to retrieve the information that's needed, right? So, I believe that a lot of why people are having such a hard time with the real estate exam is because they're going into it already anxious and wound up about, oh, it's so hard. People aren't passing it. I can only take it 3 times. And this whole 3-time rule, man, I don't know what that's even about, man. Like that's like kind of added. That kind of like added on top of what already an anxious
Coach Mike, situation. Has that always been the case, or is that something that's been relatively new?
That's relatively new, Rick. When I got my real estate exam, there was no limit on how many times you could take it before you had to go take some more classes. Like the reason that people is not passing the exam ain't got nothing to do with the amount of information. I mean, look, the way that Texas is set up as far as getting your real estate license, with the amount of hours that you have to take, the amount of classes that you have to take. Look, the information is the last thing that's the problem. It's the process. It's the way that it's set up. So the reality for me, right? So my take on it is it's all smoke and mirrors, because when I have people that ask me this question, and you're right, Rick, I get it a lot. I done took it 2 times. Now I'm hesitant on taking it the 3rd time. It's smoke and mirrors though, because what's the worst that can happen? You take it a 3rd time and don't pass. All right. So now what you got to do? All right, you got to take 30 hours of continuing education class, which you can knock out in 2 days. Right. And then after you take that class, then you get another 3 chances to go take the exam again. Right. Mm-hmm. And then what's the worst that can happen? You fail all 3 of those. Okay. But my point is this, Rick, the world ain't going to end. Like, this ain't Armageddon. This ain't, like, I promise you, there are people around this world that the things that they're having to deal with, they would love for this to be the thing that they got to deal with.
The biggest problem is how they're gonna pass the real estate exam.
Exactly. Yeah, they would love that this would be the thing the things that they're worried about, the things that they're anxious about. Oh, they probably looking at these people like, are you serious, bro? Like this what? So, not to belittle how a person's feeling, because their feelings are real. Mm-hmm. You got to put it in perspective though, right? And the reason that you got to put it in perspective, because look at what they said. They're hesitant on scheduling an exam. It's slowing you down. Mm-hmm. It's slowing you down from where you're trying to get to, out of this hesitancy. Hey, I was the same way sometimes. Like when it came to spending money, I was super cost conscious. I really am to this day. Like I'm uncomfortable having to make big purchases. Mm-hmm. The problem though, Rick, is that there were big purchases that needed to be made for the betterment of my business or for the betterment of my life, that it was the right investment, right? But because I was so apprehensive about paying it, then what I should have paid yesterday is taking me a month or half a month, like before I actually pull the trigger. It slowed the process down. So I think that's what's happening here. Is the end goal is to be licensed. For that to happen, you got to pass the exam. For you to pass the exam, you got to take the exam, right? So you've taken it twice. You got another shot. We got to take it. You sitting there being hesitant about scheduling and being indecisive and saying, I'm not ready. Like, that's not getting you anywhere closer to where you're trying to be. Right. The only thing that's going to get you closer to that is you taking the exam. This is something else I tell people now, Rick. Look, you get 3 strikes. You get 3 strikes, bro. You can use the first 2 test exams to get feedback. There is no failure in this, Rick. Only feedback.
Right.
You take that test a 3rd time, and you take whatever feedback that you get out of taking that test. Because the first exam, you should have got some feedback that you could utilize as you approach the second one. If you didn't pass that one, get that feedback, make whatever adjustments, approach the 3rd one. If you don't pass that one, take the feedback, make the adjustment to prepare you for the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, and however many time it takes. Like we gotta approach it with a different mindset, and that mindset of fear, because that's what it really is. You're afraid, but what are you really afraid of? Like I said, it's smoke and mirrors. It doesn't really exist. Get rid of that fear. I'm a big believer of the way to put you in the best situation for success with that exam, because I believe everybody already has all the information that they need to be able to pass it in their head. Right. They have it already based on the way our process is set up. So to put you in the best situation for success means you got to be confident, you got to be relaxed, you got to be really feeling good, man. So that means get your nice rest. Get any issues, no stress, get all of that out of your life. Get it out of your life. You get it, move it out of there, right?
Right.
Be super confident of what you're going in there to do. Feel good, get you a good meal, right? Get your, just your physically, you got to be in a good place. Mentally, you got to be in a good place, and emotionally, you got to be in a good place and go in there. And that's going to put you in the best situation to have success with the exam.
And I want to make sure I want to piggyback a lot of the points that you've made previously and that we've talked about on previous episodes of Monday Night Live. I'm hoping that the person who submitted this question is not an affiliate member at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, because there are so many opportunities like the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Study Hall that this person can take advantage of, to not necessarily feel like they're speaking to Coach Mike, who may not understand the stresses of being new. They can be around people just like themselves in that same exact position and can bounce ideas off of each other. So, Coach, on top of the Real Estate Study Hall, just share with our audience some of the other programs and activities they can take advantage of as a member at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, a realtor, or an affiliate.
Absolutely. So our real estate student affiliates the whole program is designed to accomplish that one goal, which is to get you past that exam. Right?
Absolutely.
It is a supplement to whatever real estate school that you're going through. It is a membership. It's a support group. It's a knowledge share, right? I know what I know about what they're going through, Rick, is because of my experiences with the real estate student affiliates, my experiences in study hall, hearing them talk about it. Because I took my exam 18 years ago, Rick. I mean, I don't know what none of that feel like, right? And I passed mine on the first try. I do. Now, look, I do remember how I was anxious, right? I remember, but here's the crazy thing about it, man. I was so young. I got a degree in chemical engineering, and I didn't realize how hard real estate was, right? I wasn't at that time. Like I was thinking like everybody else kind of see us like, oh, you're a realtor. Like, we one step above used car salesman or whatever. They think, oh, this don't take a lot of energy. This don't take a lot of smarts. So I felt the same way 18 years ago. I'm like, hey, man, if I can graduate cum laude in chemical engineering, this ain't nothing, right? Man, that exam was like, oh, I got something for you, bro. And I remember I had on a gray shirt. I still remember what I had on. I had on a gray shirt and some jeans, right? 18 years later, I still remember. Gray shirt, jeans, and I took the whole 2 hours, and I remember all of this was sweated out. I was just dark gray, just sweat. And when I tell you, when I finished, I was like, man, I failed it. Like, that's what I was thinking. I didn't pass it. But here's the crazy thing. I went in with so much confidence, and I think that's what took me over the top because I didn't know no better. I hadn't heard nobody say, oh, no, it's hard. And even the ones that said, oh, it's really difficult, in my head, in my hubris, I'm like, I'm chemical engineer, baby. I got this. So I went in there. So like that mindset, man, is so powerful. And I think that's what got me like it wasn't nothing. So, these are things that we talk to the real estate student affiliates. Again, it's an extension of that support that we're all about at Brooks and Davis. We're about supporting you. Just with the real estate student affiliates, it's about supporting you to pass the exam. Once we get you licensed, now the rest of the support kicks in so we can help you achieve, this level of success that you want in the real estate business. But we can't do that until we get you licensed. So that's why we spend so much time and energy with our real estate student affiliates, why we spend so much time researching and looking to determine, what are those things that work? What are those best practices? What are those resources? What needs to happen to put people in the best state to where they can find success with the exam. Like there's no other brokerage firms out there that's doing that for people that are in that stage of it. Most brokers don't come in until after you're already licensed. Matter of fact, they'll even a lot of brokers out there, Rick, they don't even want you if you knew. Like they won't even bring you on if you knew. Like you still got to do deals. So the level that we come in and take people is truly, one of its kind.
No, I want to definitely applaud everything that you and all the other brokers, partners, affiliates, realtors over at Brooks and Davis provide, because it is such an inviting forum where you almost forget that this is a study hall, man. And not only the study hall aspect, but also the mentorship, the consultation. So before we sign off this week, Coach Mike, could you just inform everyone in the audience about what's going on this week as far as what they can see on Brooks and Davis television, what type of events are planned over at the office, and then our general usual weekly call to action?
Yeah. So, this is a rarity in the life of Brooks and Davis real estate firm. This is one of our light weeks. We really don't have much going on at all. A lot of it has to do with the fact that over the last 2 weeks, it's all been about the real estate summit. Like everything, we poured everything into having a successful summit on this last Saturday. So we put a lot of things on pause as it related to preparation for the following week. So, we have our mastermind through tough times where, we're going to be going live at 2:30. And, that's where myself, our super producer, Jay Joseph, Margaret Harrison, my co-host, real estate professionals talking about a little bit of randomness. The random topic that we're going to be talking about has to do with haunted houses. right?
Okay.
Is the random topic that we're going to be dealing with on this Tuesday. So tomorrow at 2:30, where we're going to be doing our mastermind through tough times. And then that following week, we're going to pick up because we're going to use this as an opportunity to kind of get things back in place, especially, we closed out this third quarter here at the end of September. So we just closed that out. So we're going to get this thing going as we go into the fourth quarter. And then about the fourth quarter, it all turns into preparation and planning for the new year, right? We're 9 months in this thing already. So we're going to assess some performance. We're going to start doing some preparation to put ourselves in a position where we can truly take off once that clock strikes midnight, and put a bow on 2022 and go into 2023. So it's exciting, man. Exciting times. We're going to keep doing what we do, but there's still going to be even with that being said, there's still going to be plenty of things for people to participate in when it comes to Brooks and Davis as we close the year out.
Hey, look, I invite everyone in the audience, stay tapped in. Follow Coach Mike on Instagram. Follow Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm on Instagram. Subscribe to the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm YouTube channel so that all the new updates and new episodes and new premieres get sent to you directly so you can be the first in line to take advantage of all the education, information, and consultation that you'll receive if you check out that channel. Big, huge shout out to super producer Jay Joseph. She did an outstanding job with the live stream of the Prime Real Estate Network podcast last week. I want to invite everyone who watched Monday Night Live to tap in this Thursday in the noon hour because super producer Jay Joseph will be allowing myself and the Texas Real Estate King, Larry W. Brooks, to shine via live stream. So I want to invite everyone. Follow, subscribe, like, and share. Check us out, man, because we try to bring the best and brightest in the real estate community to our audience every Thursday so that you can take advantage of all the networking and professional partnerships that myself, Mr. Brooks, and Mr. Michael G. Davis take advantage of as real estate professionals, man.
Yeah, you know what, Rick, man, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it's official now that the Prime Real Estate Network has now joined BND TV. It is official because in addition to going live on the Prime Real Estate Network, it's also going live on the Brooks and Davis Real Estate YouTube channel as well. So it's going live to both. Yeah, man. So welcome to the BND weekly show of lineup of shows.
That's what I'm talking about. Now all we got to do is get super producer Jay Joseph to pop in, say what's up, and shout out, then pop back out. But we working on that, man. We got to get in contact with our people.
Absolutely. We got to call our people. We got to
get in contact with our people, man. Coach Mike, any final words before we sign off this week, brother?
Nah, man. Again, I want to reiterate, man. Anybody that's watching the show, I really want to kind of reiterate. Now is the time for you to really be thinking through your year, for you to begin thinking about, thinking about what you did last year. Think about what you want to do next year. Like this is the time to start doing that, right? Start taking an assessment of these first 9 months. Start taking an assessment of your business. Taking an assessment of what you achieved, your wins, your losses. Start doing all that right now and then begin putting a game plan, a plan of action. So come January 1st, you're not getting ready. Like business planning don't start the first quarter of the year. Business planning or preparing for your year or setting goals or vision boards, all that stuff happens now because January 1st is all about extreme execution.
Yes.
We want to take full advantage of the entire year, right? Extreme execution. So your planning needs to be happening right now, right? So I want to tell people that.
Absolutely, man, Coach Mike. Everyone in the audience, heed this gentleman's advice. Take the game that he lays down, add it to your utility belt, and make yourself the best real estate professional possible so that we can all service this community to the best of our ability. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and Mr. Michael G. Davis, Coach Mike, I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in this week. Until next Monday in this hour, everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.